Hi and welcome back to Chop's Garage, the real life car trading channel, and I've just taken this Skoda Octavia in part exchange. So in case it's your first visit on a windy day to Chop's Garage, I am a small car dealer. I deal literally in small cars as a general rule, and I'm small as in I only have about 20 cars for sale, and probably only about 4 or 5 of those advertised, actually ready, advertised and up for sale. I was discussing recently in a previous video whether I should be doing cars that are sort of this age anymore. This is a 2010, because these cars are now 14 years old, and in order for you to retail a car, ideally it needs to be advisory free on the MOT. You need to get any electrical faults resolved, obviously any mechanical faults resolved. People won't live with some of the issues people live with their cars on a daily basis. They want them bang on, and we were saying how feasible is to do that on a car that is now 14 years old. So having just taken this Skoda in, the debate is, should I be retailing or should I be trading it out? Now, I have got a bit of a soft spot for the Skoda Octavia. It was the last car I had as a company car before I left the corporate world. I had a Skoda Octavia VRS. Last car before company car I had, and it was a cracking car. And I do think they're a bit like the Ronsil, aren't they? They do what they say on the tin. They aren't the most exciting mode of transport. Again, use another analogy, if you're told you've kind of got bangers and mash for dinner, not the most exciting thing, but you know it's going to fill you up and you're going to be happy afterwards. And that's kind of how I view Skoda Octavias. Not particularly exciting cars to drive, but what they tend to be is reliable, they're spacious and they're comfortable. And this is the 2 litre, it's the 1.6 I tend to avoid. I don't know if it came this early in this car or not, but it's the 2 litres that I don't mind. The 1.6 in any of the VW or the Skoda stuff can be costly to repair. It's a special edition one, isn't it? Or it's a top of the range one. Sorry, not special edition, it's top of the range. It's now I'm going to pronounce this wrong. It's Lauren and Clement, I think it is. So I'm sure someone will correct me down below. But now I'm told by my good mate, VW Mechanic on TikTok, who knows everything about VW. If you're on TikTok, go and give him a follow. He told me you don't see many of these. It is the top of the range. He said it was named after the owners of, well, was it VW or Skoda? I forget now which he said it was. But we got this nice, is that Alcantara in the middle there? And then half leather on the sides there. 6-speed box with that 1.9 diesel. We've got Bluetooth, parking sensors, cruise control, heated seats. It's in really nice condition. All the carpets are nice and clean. All the fabrics are clean. Yeah, really nicely spelled. Oh, it's got the name. I hadn't noticed that before. It's got the name in the seats and everything. These just are fantastic family cars. They just do everything, don't they? You've got plenty of room in them. But yeah, condition is absolutely excellent. Now, you know, based on the condition of this car and the way it's been brought in, that it isn't a normal punter, because they're normally filthy. It is one of our subscribers that came and bought my Hyundai i40 off me. He has got a huge amount of history with the car. I think the book is stamped up to 2016. It's all receipts after that. Now, one we've got here is for the timing belt, alternator pulley, fan belt and coolant. Let me just find what date that was. That was literally done at the end of last year, which is a major bonus. We've got loads of receipts. He said he's happy for me to pass on to the next owner, because obviously with GDPR now, you've got to be careful. So I think it's got a nigh on full service history. It does have 125,000 miles on it, which will put some people off. Doesn't tend to for me on this engine. I think we all know this engine well. I don't guess we all know, but there's examples on YouTube of these engines doing ridiculously high mileages, and I think even well into the 200s and 300s is perfectly achievable if you keep those timing belts up to date. So I'm kind of almost talking myself into it, but it has a short MOT, and we don't know what the MOT is going to flag up on it, do we? And if you MOT and it needs a load of stuff, there's no way you're getting out of it trading anymore without having to really take a hit on price. Condition wise, bodywork is really good. There's some really minor stuff that you just wouldn't do on a car this age. A little bit of scuffs on some of the alloys there, a little bit on the corner of the bumper, a few marks across the top there. You put one of those bumper covers on along there. Nothing really on this side. Some light scratching on the front corner of the bumper here that I think that would all machine polish out. That looks like bush sort of scrapes rather than anything. Now the strimmer started out of the background, I think best thing to do is take it for a spin and check how it drives, because I'm still on that sort of, I still don't know which way to go with it. Get your comments down below. Do you think this is perfectly acceptable retail stuff, or do you think with this age of mileage it should be left for somebody to be selling off a driveway somewhere, trade it out, or just sell it out, spares and repairs as it stands? I just spotted one less thing that might be needed on MOT. It's got new discs and pads on the back there. I think he might have told me that actually. Same on the other side, yeah. New discs and pads both sides on the rear there. Anyway, obviously I took it for a quick spin in the car park just to check it was okay, but let's go for a longer run. Before we do though, I need to introduce the sponsor of today's video, the OG sponsor of Chops Garage, Surfshark. Surfshark provides you with a VPN, a virtual private network. That VPN gives you a secure internet connection whilst you're online, protecting you and your data. In addition to that, it allows you to access geo-locked content when on streaming services. Now, any of them watching Chops Garage for any period of time will know that as much as I appreciate the protection that Surfshark gives me and my data online, one of my favourite features is the fact it allows me to access geo-locked content. By that, what I mean is that all the streaming services we use will limit the content you can watch, the films, the series, based on your location. But Surfshark allows you to tap into TV series and films from all over the world really simply. So here I am on Netflix, and you can see up here that I'm currently running on a Great Britain IP address. Now, I've been recommended a series called The Pacific, which has been made by HBO, which did one of my favourite series, The Sopranos. And it is an American war series, but if I search for it, it doesn't come up because it is not available to me in the UK. Not a problem with Surfshark. If I go up here to my Surfshark, click on there, and simply change myself to a US IP address, a US internet connection, and then refresh the page, you'll see I now have access to watch The Pacific. And this, as I said, will work on a number of streaming services, hugely increasing the amount of content you can watch online. So as usual, Surfshark have given Chops Garage viewers a special offer. You can secure your privacy with Surfshark now by entering the coupon code CHOPS for an extra 3 months free at the website address shown on screen now. You'll also find a link in the video description down below. I want to take this opportunity to thank Surfshark for being a continued sponsor of Chops Garage. Now, this is an interesting comparison actually while I go and get the keys for it, is that I've also got another 125,000 mile car in. This, and it's a Skoda again, the Skoda Yeti, which is a 2017. So the difference between retailing this with 125 and that with 125 is that this has obviously been out on the road for less time. It's experienced less of the weather changes that we have here in the UK, the salt and corrosion underneath it, because we're always getting advisories for surface corrosion now. You know, things like your rubbers and that haven't had as long a time to firm up and get crispy and so forth, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is 125,000 miles, but I didn't mind the idea of retailing this because it is that much newer. It's obviously 7 years newer. We've given it a machine polish now, and I have to say, I've given it machine polish, and I have to say, it looks absolutely blooming fantastic now. I need to get this out and get some photographs onto it. Anyway, back to the Octavia. So out in the Octavia, plenty of punch. Loads of low down torque. Feels genuinely nippy. Manhole cover. Yeah, no knocks and bangs in the suspension. Steering feels good. Up into 6, clutch is nice and light. Bind about halfway. Brakes, they're new, so they feel good, as you'd expect. Not pulling at all, tracking seems to be decent. No warning lights on the dashboard. Bang on 90, halfway on the temperature. Cornering feels well composed. Doesn't feel any looseness in the steering at all. If you blindfolded me, I'd say it was on 50,000 miles. Up to the national speed limit in no time. I've got the heated seat on and my bum is getting nice and warm. I did try the passenger one earlier. That was getting nice and warm as well. So the heated seats are working well. Parking sensors are as well. Check those out. Through this corner here. Goes really, really well. On this initial drive, I can't find anything on it that would stop me retailing it. It seems to drive really, really nicely, and I can't feel any suspension components, braking components, steering. There's no noises at all in the car. In fact, it's really devoid of any rattles. That's impressive. That's a really nice drive. Well, the Octavia didn't miss a beat all weekend. I've been driving it all over the weekend. No problems with it at all. I should touch wood while I say that. It's so clean inside as well, you know, just need barring a bit of a plastics clean and a hoover out from where I've been. It doesn't need a lot, so I think we're definitely going to retail this one. It's probably, although like I say, it's the older end of what I'd like to do, being the top of the range model, being in this condition with the history, with the cam belt. I think it's worth putting up. There'll be a family that'll make a perfect car for, or maybe somebody who's running up and down the motorway, that kind of thing. I would say dog wagon, but it seemed to spoil it because it's in such nice condition. So we'll get it down, get it MOT'd, and then see what that holds for us. Hopefully not too much. But that is the risk element in this game. People always say that dealers steal part exchanges. At the end of the day, you can say that in hindsight. If a car goes through MOT, doesn't need a lot, you can say, well, you got that super cheap, but then quite easily it can go the other way, where it looks like you got it cheap, but then you end up spending a lot. You know, we simply spend £1,000 prepping retail cars for MOT before, so that could end up then looking like a bad deal. We'll have to find out, won't we? Well, I've just logged in to see, and the Octavia has a new MOT till 26th of April 2025. Let's see the MOT history. I haven't had a call from the guys yet to tell me what it needed. Advisories: rear subframe and components corroded. Well, we know even if we wire brush it down and paint it, we won't get rid of that now. So that must mean it just passed straight away with that, unless the boys did something before they dropped it off. I'll give them a quick call and check, but it looks like we might have got from MOT without it need anything. Is that possible? Let's give them a quick ring. Well, I rang the guys. They said it's ready to pick up. Excuse me, I must have bellow over the compressor over there. They said it is ready to pick up. It passed its MOT, needed nothing. It did have an advisory, as we saw there, for rust underneath the back. He said, but there isn't a lot there, but it doesn't know how much is there. It has to be noted now. So if you have a look, it doesn't look bad at all to be honest. What are they on about? I guess slightly higher up, sort of there in the middle, but the lower arms are in nice condition. The springs are in nice condition. Oh, it seems such a shame to have to note it for that. But as I said earlier, even if you stone chip it now, it still has to be there as an advisory. So, ace. It's going to go up for sale then. So I hope you enjoyed the little journey along with me on that part exchange. I've made that look a lot easier than this game is. If any of you watch any of my other videos, you know at this point we're normally looking at a bill of about £1,000 to do repairs on it, and then various warranty claims afterwards. But it looks like, fingers crossed, this could be a good one. But you never know till you sold it and it's been out with somebody for a while. There could be some hidden faults that pop up. There could be some stuff that breaks along the way. If you want to know how I get on with that, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you on the next one.